Failure is not what you think. This video is going to help you if you have a tendency to beat yourself up for your mistakes, your past failures, and for falling short. My name is Adam. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a second to like and subscribe. Before we get started, I just want to let you know I'm doing some free breakthrough calls. There is a link pinned in the comment section below. These are really cool 30-minute calls where we get on Zoom, we go over your vision for your life, what you're looking to create, what you're excited about, and then we get into what's stopping you, like what's blocking you, what's been coming up, and what you can do to clear this stuff out of your way so you can align with your highest vision. Failure is something that's been coming up for me a lot lately. It's something I've been hearing about from my clients. Our perceptions of what a mistake actually is. So I want to clarify that a bit because this is very important. We tend to beat ourselves up and think of ourselves as failures for basically just not accomplishing what we think we wanted or what we think we were supposed to do. And most of this, if not all of it, is founded on a completely faulty premise of the purpose of life. And when we continue to beat ourselves up for our quote-unquote mistakes and our failures, we tend to ruin our entire life because we're the creators of our life. And if we're mad at ourselves, we just keep reflecting that back to ourselves in the way of things not going the way we want even more. People who we align with like bouncing out of our lives, not because we failed, but because we're so angry at ourselves that we block the allowing of love from landing. We can even mess ourselves up or sabotage, money or business opportunities or social opportunities. It all comes down to us, and then we perpetuate and reaffirm the belief that we're a failure. It's a never-ending cycle. So let's look at what essentially is a mistake. One of the definitions of a mistake is it's an action or a judgment that is misguided or wrong. Well, that implies that there is a right or wrong, ultimately. I think a mistake basically, or what we consider to be failure and mistake are very similar. A failure is basically us not executing exactly what we think we wanted to execute, exactly when we wanted to execute it, and exactly how we wanted to execute it. That's complicated. It's basically us not exactly executing what we think we wanted to execute because we don't even know a lot of times what it is we truly want in the exact way we wanted to execute it at the exact time. Problem with this is there's a few problems. One, we don't know what's best for us a lot of times. We are operating from a part of the mind that isn't really meant to figure out exactly where we're going or how to get there. Our minds aren't designed to really know that. Our higher mind is designed to know that. So even though we may not have executed exactly what we thought we wanted at the exact right time, our higher mind may have done that on purpose. It may have wanted you to fall short in your mind in this particular way at this particular time because there was something for you to learn in terms of what you were going to be doing later down the road. Whether it was because of the skill set that you were trying to develop, you needed to learn these different avenues by having the thing fall short, or maybe you were going to teach, other people how to get over their mistakes. There's always like a higher, longer timeline that connects to each moment. And if we don't just kind of accept what happens and move on, we can have a tendency to get stuck in these self-punishment cycles when actually we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't even fuck it up. We didn't even make any kind of a mistake. That was what was meant to happen. The other problem with, believing in mistakes and failures is that we misinterpret the point of life. And this is something I'm working on every day, okay? There are better ways to do things. It is better to make a lot of money than to continue in suffering. And there are action steps you have to take in 3D to manifest that. I'm not saying that that reality doesn't exist. It does. But you're always going to have a much better, more successful time when you're not beating the shit out of yourself. So the faulty premise that we operate under is that there is some sort of right or wrong or way to get our life right, which comes from the sort of Old Testament, good or bad, you're going to be judged, condemned if you don't operate or behave in these manners. You're going to go to hell if you don't behave in these manners. If you get it the right way, you're going to go to heaven forever, and you kind of get one shot at it, and if you fuck up, like, fuck you. That's where a lot of that programming comes from. But the truth of life is this. It's just an experiment. It's an experiment with energy. We're here to learn how to manipulate energy. Dolores Cannon talked about this, how to use it, how to work with it, how to use it to change our environment, change ourselves, change our situations, which always comes down to working inside on the internal realms first. And ultimately, it's all just a big play, and it's just a big game. Great things do not come the first time perfectly. That's another faulty belief a lot of us have. Most people who have created something magnificent for the world have gone through a series of trial and error, mistake, failure, whatever you want to call it, in order to find what it was that actually worked in a particular way. But when you understand that all those little supposed errors actually connect in harmony to the success later, and the success would not have happened without those failures and mistakes. Those failures and mistakes cease to become failures and mistakes. They now become part of the success. It's our job to have faith in the process. It's our job to believe that if we just keep experimenting, and eventually we will find something that works. But can you enjoy the process? Can you enjoy the playing? The chemistry experiment in the laboratory. We ultimately are not failures, because the other thing that we do is when we quote unquote fail, we don't just look at it as like, okay, that didn't work this time, let me try again. We go, I am a failure. We completely identify with our perception of a failure and absorb it all personally. So both things are incorrect. You didn't fail. That little whatever it was, that glitch, that error, the thing that didn't work, wasn't even a failure to begin with. And then you, to the core of your being, most certainly are not a failure. Here's the other thing with success. A lot of times, the flukes, the things that you weren't intending, that just kind of pop out accidentally, that you would have considered a failure, end up being the biggest successes. You can find plenty of evidence with, innovators, inventors, artists. It's always kind of the flukes, what they weren't intending. And the reason for that is because of the higher mind. Because of the higher mind. Because of the spirit and the source that flows through us all. When we're open and we just keep staying in action and experimentation, that part of us that's beyond the conscious mind can come through and create what's really wanting to be created. It's our job to get out of the way. And regardless of whether you're attaining your goals or your targets or whatever, all that matters is the now and how you see yourself. The only thing that matters is your perception of yourself on all levels, because that determines how you feel. So when you see your mistakes as awesome, when you see your failures as connected to success, when you see yourself always as a success no matter what, you are then connected to your authentic self, which is love, which is acceptance. And then life is fun. And I get it. If you're working a job that you hate, if you're driving for Uber and you want to blow your brains out, life can create so much suffering, it's crazy. There are better scenarios that feel better. Of course there are, but the way you're going to get there is by stop demonizing yourself for fucking up. Because your perception of yourself is what manifests the like vibrational experiences. So just let yourself off the hook. Be easy on yourself. Bless your mistakes. Bless your failures. Try to fail big. Try to make more mistakes. Try to laugh at your mistakes. And ask what they're there to teach you. Because as soon as you choose to learn anything, it's no longer a mistake. You just took a schism of energy in the internal moment of the now, and by choosing to learn something, you harmonized it. And it's all over, and it's all good. So choose to learn, and there's no failure. Let me know how this goes. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I have a free energy clearing in the description below if you'd like to download it. Please let me know if you have any questions, revelations, concerns, breakthroughs. Other than that, I thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.